Hey everybody, this is Kevin from Klotz Productions, and this is Game 1 between Bobby playing Boros and Dylan playing Eldrazi Green. Dylan was on the play this game and started out with a Jiraga Tree Speaker. On Bobby's turn, he just laid down an Arid Mesa, and then on Dylan's turn, he went to pump his Tree Speaker, but in response, Bobby cracked his Arid Mesa to search for a mountain, and then used it to cast a Lightning Bolt to kill the Tree Speaker. For Bobby's next turn, he cast a Stoneforge Mystic and used it to search for a Sword of Body and Mind. Dylan then cast a Growth Spasm to search for another forest and get himself an Eldrazi spawn. Bobby started off his next turn by laying down a Marsh Flats and then casting a Goblin Guide. He then attacked with the Guide, which revealed a land on the top of Dylan's library, and then Dylan took the 2 damage, going down to 18. For Dylan's next turn, he simply laid down a Mystifying Maze and passed the turn back to Bobby, at which point Bobby cracked his Marsh Flats to search for a Plains. Then, also at the end of the turn, he used his Stoneforge Mystic to put his Sword of Body and Mind into play. On Bobby's next main phase, he equipped his sword to his Mystic, then he attacked with his Mystic and his Goblin Guide. Dylan revealed the top card of his library, which wasn't a land this time, and then he used his Mystifying Maze to remove the Mystic from the game and took the other 2 damage from the Guide, going down to 16 life. During Bobby's second main phase, he cracked an Arid Mesa to search for a mountain. He then cast a Squadron Hawk and searched for 3 more. Then at the end of the turn, his Mystic came back into play and he used it again to search for a Basilisk Collar. Dylan then laid down an Eldrazi Temple and then cast a Jiraga Tree Speaker before passing the turn. Bobby equipped his sword to his Mystic and attacked with the team. The Goblin Guide revealed a land this time, and then Dylan decided to take the 6 damage, going down to 10 life. He also had to mill 10 cards off the top of his library from the sword. However, it revealed an Ulamog, causing him to shuffle his graveyard back into his library. The damage from the sword also allowed Bobby to get a 2/2 wolf into play. Post-combat, Bobby used a Lightning Bolt to kill Dylan's Eldrazi spawn. He then cast his second Squadron Hawk. For Dylan's next turn, he laid down a Tectonic Edge and then leveled his Tree Speaker. Then he passed it back to Bobby. Bobby attacked with his team again, and the Guide revealed another land this time. Dylan then cast a Summoning Trap, which found himself a Primeval Titan. When the Titan came into play, he searched for 2 Eldrazi Temples and decided to block the Guide with him. He then took the other 7 damage, dropping him down to 3 life. Bobby got another Wolf token and forced Dylan to mill 10 more off the top of his library. However, Ulamog went to the graveyard again, causing Dylan to shuffle his graveyard back into his library. Post-combat, Bobby laid down an Evolving Wilds and then cast his Basilisk Collar. He then used a Journey to Nowhere to take Dylan's Titan, and then he cast his 3rd Squadron Hawk before finishing his turn. Dylan then laid down another Eldrazi Temple and then cast an Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. Dylan went ahead and took his next turn and then cast another Primeval Titan and searched for 2 Colony Gardens, which gave him 2 plant tokens. Dylan then attacked with his Emrakul. Bobby chose to sacrifice 4 of his basic lands, his Basilisk Collar, and 1 of his wolves. He then took the 15 damage, dropping him down to 2 life. At the end of the turn, Bobby sacrificed his Evolving Wilds to search for a Plains. For Bobby's next combat, he decided to attack with only his 3 Squadron Hawks. The reason for this was so that Dylan couldn't use a Summoning Trap to cast into a Wormcoil Engine and keep himself alive. This killed Dylan, giving Bobby the win and taking them to Game 2.